Hello, folks. I wanted to speak a little bit about some of the censorship that's been going on lately in some of the social media area, and how some of the people on my side, so to speak about it. I think is completely wrong. They use the word targeting. Oh, they're targeting conservatives. Y'all better look out because they're targeting conservatives. And nothing could be further from the truth. When you target something, that's your goal. That's what you hope to attain. That's what you want to control. That's not the case at all here. They are trying to silence us, but they are not targeting us. The people that they are targeting is you. What they want to do is to stifle information. They don't want you to have choices of information. They want you to only see the information that they decide is good enough for you to see. In that way, they control information. If you control information, you control people. And so while a lot of people say, oh, well, conservatives are really going to be hurt by this, no, we're not at all. We're still going to have access to the mainstream media information, but we're also going to have access to alternative information. You, on the other hand, if you're not, deeply into the blogosphere, alternate news sites, alternate newspapers, and various other forms of information, then you're not going to get that information. You're only going to get what you're told that you can have. And in this way, they'll control you. And this should bother you, not me. I'm still going to have access to all the information I want because I know how to go out there and find what I want to find. Whereas a lot of other people are not going to be able to do that because they're busy. They're daily trying to take care of their families and work and their home and all the chores that they have to do. People are busy and they don't have time for all this stuff. So they have a little stop in the morning to read a little news here or there, maybe a little bit in the evening before they go to bed, and then that's it. And so now those avenues for that quick media fix is going to be controlled. So now your digital masters and your political masters are going to tell you what you can see and what you can hear. Whereas the rest of us, we're going to still get all the information we always did. So the target of this is not us, it's you. And the reason for targeting you is to keep you ignorant. And if you look at your history and the way all tyrannies are formed, even Hitler, now he wrote his book Mein Kampf and he had some bad stuff in there, but in the early days of Hitler trying to get into the political arena, he softened his stance on a lot of the things that he believed in. It was more about bringing jobs back to Germany, having pride in being German, and that Germany was being subjugated by these other nations because of the Treaty of Versailles after World War I. And some of that was even true at the time. And so he gained his popularity through these mainstream, more or less, messages. When he started his really radical stuff, when he started stifling information, was once he had achieved a certain level of power. And that's what they do. And that's what we have here. You have liberals have achieved a certain level of power. They have very huge organizations, very huge corporations, lots of money, and lots of control over the social media. The election of Donald Trump has just sent them to their knees. They could not believe that it actually happened. That you and I were so ignorant that we would elect a guy like Donald Trump who actually wants to be for the people instead of for all the rich billionaire tech junkies. And so, this is why they're being very aggressive with what they're doing now. Now that they've achieved a level of control and a level of power, they're going to use it to try to stifle information. All tyrannies, all Marxists, all fascists do. And this is no different. And so, you just need to think about that as time goes by. When you see people being silenced, it's not that person they're targeting. They're targeting you. They don't want you to hear what that person has to say. This is kind of common with some people that I know who get on Gab for the first time. Gab is the only absolute free speech social site in the world. It was created directly for that particular purpose. And as such, there are some terrible people on there. You can get on the Gab and get some anti-Semites and some racists and whatever. And so if you're not used to it, and if you're not used to having a free flow of information, you might be shocked. Well, I don't know if I want to be a part of this. All these. Well, listen, you can mute those people. Gab has a mute feature just like everybody else. And so somebody comes on there and they're anti-Semite and you don't want to listen to them, you mute them, boom, they're done, and you don't have to listen to them anymore. And you keep doing that for a while, and it doesn't take very long before you kind of streamline it, and that type of stuff doesn't come around on your feed anymore. The difference here is that the person who gets to decide who the racist is, who the anti-Semite is, who the fake information person is you. You get to decide that. Not some corporate head in California, billionaire, like Jeff Zuckerberg. You want Jeff Zuckerberg to decide what is good and bad for you? Or would you rather do it for yourself? See, I would rather do it for myself. And so people need to understand that if you're going to have free information, you are going to have some bad stuff, and you'll have to filter through it. That's what freedom is. See, freedom takes a little bit of work, folks. Just a little bit of work. But it sure as hell beats the alternative. So if you don't pay attention, you're going to lose this forever, because once they get control of information and they hold it for a long period of time, very, very seldom is there any going back without blood and guts. And so while you may be a little comfortable with it, you can have your little Facebook feed without it ever upsetting you. You can get on your Facebook every morning, there's nothing there that bothers you. It's all just cats and dogs and rainbows, and it's so beautiful and you love it. And that may be fine with you, and you may live fine throughout your life that way, and you may think that you're perfectly okay with that. But you know who's not going to be okay with it? Your children and your grandkids. Because they're not going to have a choice in the matter. By the time they grow up, it's going to be set in stone, and there will be no freedom. There will be no freedom of speech. There will be no First Amendment. There probably won't be a Second Amendment if they have their way. And it will all be on your watch. And you know what? They're going to spit on your grave. They're going to hate you for that. They're going to look back at history and say, wait a minute, we had all these freedoms and Grandma just gave it away without even fighting? She signed up for it for free? It's insanity. And you need to think twice about it, and you need to understand who the target really is. The target's not me. It's you.